If you know, you know.
If you're in the WhatsApp group, you're one
If
of the special ones.
this has been a common sight to so many people this past weekend. This is
Share your
totally
location.
normal.
Where are you?
Give a pin.
Oh no, everyone gets to see my hideous desk. Hey friends! How
Hi,
y'all doing?
friends.
We missed you!
Why are we all so far away from each other?
It's not fair.
Oh. Hi friends. It's me again. It's us again.
It's
Welcome
us.
to EU4. We're going to be streaming. If this is your first time here, you know who we are. We are a community that serves to uplift the European TTRPG community because it's not fun to play D&D at 2 in the morning. I like my sleep better. My name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I am a Latinx woman of color, tan skin, dark eyes, dark hair, and I am wearing my Star Wars pajamas. It is a black fluffy sweatshirt.
I wouldn't have known they were pajamas if you hadn't said anything.
Yeah, totally
It me.
pajamas.
I'm unabsorbent. I'm JC Darcy. I use they them pronouns. I'm a white, femme presenting non-binary person with long it was described as long in somebody else's alt text this week, so I guess we've reached that point. It's long brown hair. I have a red lip, big green glasses. And as of this week, I've become part deer. I'm wearing some really lovely fake antlers, which I got at Dragonmeet this weekend.
That's what we're going to be talking about.
Well, it's just this little gathering that a couple people were at, just a small little group. Um,
On a
all of our
dinky island.
friends were at Dinky Island 1 and 2, if you know, you know.
This
And it was a
stream is
good
going to be
time.
filled with
And
inside jokes, friends, and I do not apologize for it whatsoever.
no, we're here to kind of emphasize the FOMO. We're here to tell you how good it was in the hopes that it spurs you to come next year because it was so much fun. We had so many friends. Like, it was so touched by how many people international, like so many people flew from other countries to be there, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful, joyful time. So we're going to tell you all about it, tell you tips, tricks for next year, what we recommend you do, what we recommend you skip, and hope that you'll join our little community and come and visit us next year, next December, November.
Whenever that will be, and most likely we're going to be there. And like Darcy said, it filled our hearts so much.
Sorry, I have to ban Ruben from the chat. Hang on one sec.
It filled our hearts so much, not because we just saw all our friends and they were like this little place, but a I'm projecting a large portion of their reason for being there was specifically because of this community.
For sure.
And that is it is the holidays, and this is my Grinch heart like growing out of my chest.
We had a moment, you and I, didn't we, after the Saturday night gathering? Everyone was
Mhm.
just out on the street and we just gave each other a hug and looked at, like, it was like proud mums, like, look at all of our children.
Look at them, they're so
Bring them
cute.
together.
They're so cute and problematic and perfect.
There were too many puns. On the Friday when we first started meeting up with people, I was like, Molly Magpie said something, and I said, hang on, I have to start like an out of context chat so that I can put some of these things in.
You need
I
a
very quickly
stenographer for
realized
that.
I would have just spent the whole weekend on my phone. I couldn't keep up. We have some very funny friends. There were some very good moments. Um,
Yeah, but you're
highly
saying we're going chronologically.
sure.
So Dragon Meet typically has been a one-day TTRPG convention that is based in London, run by the local community there. It has a very robust vendor hall, a lot of GM pre-advanced games you can sign up for, pay a little money for. There is a lot of typically panels to join, educational ones, roundtable ones. There is typically a section where members of the podcasting community can also come and sort of share, advertise who they are, and try to gain new listeners. And one thing that has been increased in the previous years are external meetups by external communities, sort of adjacent to Dragon Meet, but not officially Dragon Meet. So we're
Mm.
going to be talking about chronologically the first one that happened the night before Dragon Meet, something called Muppet Meet, hosted by Soul Muppet Publishing, which was intended to be a professional networking evening of panels and networking specifically for TTRPG industry professionals.
Yeah, this was the second year doing this. I'm trying to shout up Soul Muppet and send our link, but it's not working because
We
Nightbot hates me.
no, we will find it. I don't know if
We'll
it's in.
find it and we'll send love their way because they're excellent people. Like despite like besides just making phenomenal games, sad games mostly and gay games, they're just lovely, lovely people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this was the second year for Muppet Meet. Last year was the first one. There was a couple of little differences this year. They're trying different things. There was obviously everything was in a different venue. You
Mm-hmm.
might have noticed that some people went to the correct tube stop and the correct venue. Uh, at least one that we know of did not, but most people found their way directly to a new venue. So it was a new room, it was a new setup, a different time. Last year it was on the Sunday morning, like throughout the
Mm-hmm.
day. This was Friday evening. And it was also this year all recorded for the first time, which is
Yeah,
very exciting for people like me who had to miss it, unfortunately. And if you didn't get to be there as well, you'll be able to, in a couple of days or weeks, when our good friend Sam gets it all organized and posted, you'll be able to catch up on all the seminars and talks that were there on that Friday night, which is really exciting.
that is really exciting. That's accessible. And typically,
Mm.
at least the last, this is their second iteration, they've both been free.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that'll maintain. I don't want to put some of it on the spot, but they have been free, even without a ticket to Dragon Meet the convention itself. All
Mm-hmm.
they ask that you reserve a ticket in advance for them, like body count purposes. But that's it.
Yeah. And it's God, it's worth the price. Worth it at twice the price.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, was there like two or three tracks
There
at
were
Muppet
two
Meet?
tracks, a
Two
professional
tracks at
track
Muppet Meet.
and a business track. So they were, sorry, a professional track and a creative track.
That's right.
So for this time, there were, last year as well, there were two sets of panels happening at simultaneous time on those two different tracks. And this time, in the middle of those two tracks, there was sort of a space for networking all together in one very loud, very warm room, nonetheless. And the professional track had things like marketing tips,
Mm,
publishing trips, how to move sort of those things forward. And the creative one had things like storytelling and APs, actual plays, but all with a twist, knowing the audience are going to be industry professionals within
mhm,
TTRPGs.
mhm,
This is very different from other companies I've been to. We sort of just talk about what you love, talk about your perspective, talk about changes. But when pitching to an industry, the message is going to be a little bit more different. We have to mention the massive elephants, the capitalisms often, but also our ideas and paths to go through this. Um, Myself and Nathan Blades co hosted a panel on this sort of relationship between actual plays and the TTRPG industry as a sort of uh, TLDR. Can serve as a wonderful vehicle for greater audience, greater reach, greater marketing. And the industry can serve to sort of improve also the actual play community in terms of funding art, funding talent, and creating jobs. And you're going to see more of that when Sam posts it. But otherwise, it was all very professionally done. All my questions were answered. It was clear where I had to go once I got to the correct building. That's more
mm.
of a venue concern rather than Muppet Meet specific. We met so many wonderful, kind people, people who it always takes a bit of nerve to like, people are being loud. Okay, I'm just going to walk and say, hi, my name is, what do you do?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it was wonderful. I got to be on a panel in the first year, and so we gave Ida the shot this year. Spread the love. And that's really what it's about. Like, I know that they have tried to keep it free, and I imagine that they will in the future because the point of it is knowledge sharing. Like,
Hmm.
Soul Muppet don't really get anything material out of it, but they are really dedicated to being that company, those people in the space who people know and recognize and can come to and know that there's a lot of people who view the scene as like really competitive and like guard all their secrets very close to the chest and go, no, this is my hard-earned knowledge, you can't have it. Which, okay, valid in a capitalist society, that is hard-earned, and if it's your skill set, you have to sell it. That's sort of an understanding there. But this is very much the idea of the shared ethos that we have with them of all. I never get the idiom right. Shared boats, rising tide, tides ride boats. The
All
boats rise, all the boats rise. Rise up, boats.
rise up boats. A rising tide lifts all boats.
Thank you. That's very much it. And so it's an excuse and a reason to get people together and just openly share what they know, what works for them, what doesn't, tips and tricks, trying to help people improve and get ahead because as we raise standards within our little corner of the scene, that's good for all of us.
It really is. It was really heartwarming to see that a lot of the values that Euphoria organically or have learned from other people are indeed spreading as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I had quite a lot of talks were just like open around the circle talks. I got some discussion points that still need to be fleshed out later in a quieter room. I had conversations with people on like, okay, let's go. Okay, you're asking something very specific. And
Mm,
I get in the capitalism things need to be propriety, but I'm willing to have a talk with you. But in that corner, let's go talk.
yeah,
But
trusted people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or even people I'm like, I'm gonna feel a good vibe, I'm gonna take a leap.
Yeah.
But that's sort of what the whole ethos is because Euphoria Darcy. Now you and I started like itty bitty, even below Euphoria. And
Hmm.
we had very kind people who took a chance on us and like
Absolutely.
hopefully sniffed off the good vibes and say, oh, these two are worth investing in sharing the knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm honored that with the help of the community, we're like onesama.
Hmm.
We're not maybe we're not we're like little senpais in the middle somewhere.
We are the senpais and
We're
we will
little
notice you.
senpais. Yes.
There's lots of very good boat related idioms in the chat. I highly recommend checking them out. I don't know what they all mean. But yeah, Krifu says the tumble through table was just covered in friends flyers by the end of the day. And that's it, isn't it? Like share and share alike, shout out your friends, give them a platform when you can. Excellent vibes all around. Good job, Muppets. We love the Soul Muppets. We are always happy to support what they do. And they understand the value of an AP as well because they've paid
Hmm.
us to do them before, and hopefully they will again. Go and check out Doom Spiral.
Yeah. This just fell off my desk. All the
Oh
leftover
no, I can't
Euphoria
hold all these flyers.
all the leftover Euphoria. Oh, that's a business card I need to not lose. That was a
Mm.
very good chat. We're going to continue having
Of
chats.
course, I'm wearing the antlers, Taylor. I literally have not taken them off. That's not true. They would not have let me on the plane with these on. I checked.
Hmm. No comment. Maybe not for
No,
the stream, but
no.
so
I
that was
unfortunately.
Friday.
May I explain my absence, teacher?
Yes,
Why I
because
was
there was
not at
something
Muppets?
really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I was very, very lucky and very, very honored that generously Taylor, who has turned up at the exact right time, brought me along as a +1 to the High Rollers live show at the O2. Not the big O2. JLS were playing the main arena, so High Rollers got bumped to the Indigo, I guess. But it was a lovely little venue. Um, really good vibes. They did a live show. They played the Discworld system, which was the main reason Taylor was like, "You like that shit? Let's go." But it was great. It lent itself really well to a live show because it's just chaos. It's a very simple system that really translate like the GM didn't have to spend any time explaining to the audience this is what this means. It came across very, very quickly. The High Rollers crew were absolutely amazing. Delighted to hear Mark slash Mara attempting a Liverpudlian accent and falling apart as the game went on. Um, there was a
Brave,
melty
very
snowman.
brave.
Very brave, but the commitment, she committed to the bit, and it was very, very funny. He played a dust bunny. There was this melty snowman. Kim was the stubbed toe kobold, and we also had the mouse of the house. And I'm forgetting what Ree was. Taylor, please tell me in the chat. I can't remember, but they were all like little
Bad hair
creatures.
fairy.
The bad hair fairy, thank you so much. Yeah, who had terrible hair and went around giving bad haircuts to people. Chaos ensued. It was a Christmas themed, Hogswatch themed adventure. They had to deliver the presents. The GM was not Mark, it was somebody whose name I've completely forgotten. I want to say Andy from Oxventure. In the guest
Cool.
GM spot, which like Mara got to play instead of GMing, which she said the next day was very, very relaxing to not have that worry.
I can
And it
imagine.
was great. It was really, really great. The energy was really high, loads of laughs. Just a real pleasure to get them to watch the High Rollers crew in action. It was absolutely wonderful. Didn't enjoy spending £8.50 per glass of wine in the O2, but that's London for you.
Yeah, that was a surprise as well. I arrived Friday afternoon. We had all of our friends at the XL, which where the Dragonmeet convention was being set up that afternoon. I hadn't eaten since 6 in the morning, and I had a good rice dish.
Mm.
I don't know if it was 15 pounds worth good, but nonetheless, we got to.
Nonetheless, it was well worth it. Um, Shout out to High Rollers. Thank you so much, Kim, for putting Taylor and I on the guest list. So I saved a bit of money there. But yeah, it was really wonderful. Really good vibes from all the audience as well. It was a lovely, lovely evening.
And then completely normal things happened afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And then we woke up bright and early for day one for
Day
Dragonmeet.
one of one. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it being a 1 day con.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was doors open at 9, and then I feel like the convention hall should have opened at 10, but I got in at like 20 past 9. So I don't know if there was a miscommunication and people were just letting people in. But yeah, I got in and it was good. It was a wonderful venue. I'm going to do my spiel about the venue now because I
Okay.
really,
Okay.
really liked it. In previous years, it's been at the Novotel, which is obviously a hotel, not a dedicated convention space. And you would have one hall on one floor, and then downstairs would be another hall. And Podcast Zone was kind of in a corridor,
Yeah.
which I know some of our friends who did it last year were like, that was a weird space to be in. It felt
That
very
was
liminal.
cozy.
It was cozy, but also people were like passing by on their way to stuff, and they were like, "Do you want to know about our podcast?" It was slightly weird vibes, but no, lovely big hall this time. Obviously, dedicated space. There was loads of food, and the inside, like there was space.
There was
All the
space.
aisles were like nice and wide,
They
and you could
were.
stop and not feel like you were blocking the entire aisle. UKG. And
But I will say one thing that UKGE did right regarding these aisles. Nothing was labeled.
nothing was labeled. That's
Nothing
true.
was labeled. There was
That
no
is true.
printed maps, and I get for environment and costs, it's better with a digital map, but nothing was labeled.
Was there
And
not? I didn't get a
mm,
program. I know programs existed, but I didn't get one, so I cannot say if I agree that
I
that's true. I
I
don't know.
haven't seen anyone holding one. If there is one, it's a collector's item, or
Hold on
there
to it.
there is some like electromagnetic repulsion between me and this paper that I will never see, and it's just a me
Yeah.
problem.
This is when chat is going to be like, yeah, they were giving them out to everybody. It's just you two who didn't get one. They haven't said that. But yeah, it was a nice venue. But yeah, because there was like an entrance and an exit, but the entrance was from like the main hall, so I've seen a map, but I couldn't tell you still which entrance was the actual entrance. So my sort of alignment was off from the get-go. So I just wandered around until I saw my friends and just said hi.
Even then, I missed my friends because I was like, map,
Mm.
landmark,
There are
where?
people who were there that I did not know were there until I've seen their sort of post Dragon Meet Con Blues. It was nice to be there tweet, and I was like, oh, I did not see you.
I looked. I
So
tried looking. I went up and down. I was like, 'cause I kept losing shit. I had a
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Sorry,
But
sorry.
no, you're right. Like, and again, like this, none of this is like really harsh criticism of well, they
Mhm.
fucked this up and they should like. It was the first year in a new venue. There's always going to be like
Mhm.
critical feedback. I would say like this is a
Growing
basic.
pains.
Growing pains is a really great term for it. Yeah, and that would be something. The UKG system is a really good system, but again, is one of those things that I say to people. Yeah, because it's the hall and then the aisle number and then the meters away from the door, and people go, "Oh, is that what those numbers mean?"
Yes, fair, fair.
It does work if you have like the sorcerer's stone, the Rosetta Stone to unlock the meaning. But
Hmm.
something like that would definitely serve Dragonmeet really well.
So I eyed it because I take part of the Tumble Through podcast with my friends. Was sort of certain hours sitting at the podcast zone, which is along one wall. We all picked our neighbors, which was very
Mm,
cozy. We weren't necessarily assigned specific tables. Picked our neighbors, got cozy.
that's good.
Um, Everyone seemed to be setting up okay. I personally did not have any data Wi-Fi. I never connected to the Wi-Fi, but I
Mm,
never had any data mobile problems. I know it was spotty, but that might be carrier specific.
possibly. I
Hmm.
know in one very specific corner of the room, whenever I was at the three sales stand, I did not have signal. That's the only spot that I ever had trouble.
Interesting. Hmm.
They really said fuck three sales in particular.
No, no,
I
not
don't know.
award-winning 3 sale
Yeah,
studio.
award-winning sales studio, yeah, who picked up the gold award for Mappa Mundi. So massive congrats to them. We love that game. We love that company. Very, very proud to see them getting the recognition that they very much deserve. So that was great to see.
That was super cool. And then throughout the day, I think the convention was officially 9:30, but we'll call it 9-ish,
Nine,
to
10.
officially 6 o'clock
Yes.
for the general public.
Mhm.
Throughout the course of the day, there would be other scheduled panels.
Yes.
This year, there were no live games specifically set as live games. Apparently,
Mhm.
this was a communication or scheduling to be improved for next time situation.
I
And
think so.
I miss them, and I hope they come back. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But there was seminars and panels, like Ida
Mhm.
says, and I'm gonna put a pin in Ruben's comment because we'll talk about that about multiple days, about it being a single day con.
Yeah,
There are pros and cons. We'll talk about that at the end. Um, I only saw one seminar. Um, I didn't particularly look at the seminars because, especially for us, it's like it's one day. You've got 6 hours, 8 hours,
yeah.
whatever it is. You have to make that time count. It's why I didn't play any games or run any games. And it's why I only went to this one seminar because it was run by our wonderful friend Taylor, who put together an absolutely fucking stacked panel of incredible creators to talk about self discovery and self expression in TTRPGs, which was such an evocative title that really went out of its way to be it was about very specific things. It was about representation. It was about being POC and queer and neurodivergent and marginalized in the scene and seeing yourself recognized and represented without explicitly being that. Because we know running stuff like this and talking to people and working with people like this, people are fucking sick of doing how to do a diversity 101, the panel, because
Hmm.
it's been done and y'all should have taken notes by now and we shouldn't need to do it every fucking year.
Taylor literally did it last year at the
Literally.
Muppet Meet.
So she said, tick, done. I've told y'all white people what to do. I've told y'all straight people what to do. We're going to move on now. And it very much felt like a celebration of those people and those identities in stories and games. It was incredibly, incredibly good. Taylor was the moderator. There was Nathan Blades, Kim Richards, Finley Ginley, and fuck,
Khalil.
Khalil, thank you. I could see his face. I was like, what's that guy's name? I know him from somewhere.
The face is very distracting. It's a very nice face.
It's a nice face.
Very nice
I've seen my
face.
Blades of the Dark game. I see him all the time. So yeah, so like a really diverse, wonderful, representative, but also massively fucking talented group of people. Um, talking about their play experience, their creative experience, their game design experience. Um, everyone just had so much to say and share, and it was really, really beautiful. Taylor finished with a question which wasn't supposed to be the final question. Taylor said, "How can I forget Khalil? I'm sorry. I was trying to call him Alonso in my head. Um, that's his Blades in the Dark character name.
Oh, okay.
We've been talking a lot about that Blades in the Dark game today, so he was Alonso. Um, Taylor said, I'm going to give you an easy question before the really deep question. And then everyone gave such thorough, wonderful answers to the easy question that Taylor's like, we've run out of time. You don't get that question. Taylor, go on, let us know what that question was going to be. Give us this stream exclusive. Do that for us, please.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it got pretty deep anyway. Like people were sharing
Touched.
really.
Yeah.
What's her?
The audience even felt really touched
Yeah,
physically around me. I saw people like really like
absolutely.
doing a hard think.
She's getting the notes. She doesn't have the notes, so she's
Ooh.
getting them. But yeah, it was really, really wonderful. It's just really gratifying to hear that there are spaces and that there are experiences where people can be not themselves, because that was a major part of the conversation, like putting too much of yourself into a character, but to explore pieces of themselves through storytelling. Um, it's a major part of what we're trying to do here, and it's really, really gratifying to hear how other people have done it and try and take the little notes of, okay, this is something else that we could add or facilitate, or and these are the stories that we want to hear people telling as well. I really really appreciated all this panelists sharing with us.
To
Oh, here we
my
go.
oh, let's
No, go
see.
on.
There's a. I was about to say that, to my knowledge, the panels within Dragonmeet themselves were not recorded or not streamed for later. Maybe this
No.
was a capacity issue because I saw the same video audio team doing it. So like, there's probably a capacity issue, but hopefully that's an IDA nice to have thing for future
Yes,
iterations.
absolutely.
But
Hire
let's see,
Sam Langford. Sam Langford will do it for you.
or give him way more money,
Yeah, hire
because
him.
it was
Absolutely.
no, but it was Sam doing it. So hire Sam for other things as well.
It was Sam doing Muppet Meet, but Sam wasn't employed by Dragon Meet on the day.
Yeah, he was running two mics.
He ran them, but they weren't paying him to do it. That was
Ah,
him just stepping in to help Taylor. Yeah.
pay Sam.
Hey Sam.
Taylor says, thank you, Taylor. There's a debate around TTRPGs as a power fantasy, as an educational tool, or just a game, i.e., quotation marks, it's not that deep, end quotation. Though the world is, broadly speaking, more accepting of different identities nowadays, how do you approach self discovery and expression in the face of suppression or oppression? Should we use games as a form of resistance or education when it comes to who we are as people, or should we leave it and let people, quote, figure things out, end quote, for themselves? I think this question deserves its own stream and more nuanced time than a answer we can give in this like post
Mhm.
Dragon Meet stream. I would want to do like a lot of respect to that question. I
Yeah,
will I will
that needs
lose
its
sleep
own
over this
panel.
question tonight, but this needs its own panel.
It does.
Write it down. Okay, we're gonna do the
Taylor, make a note.
Taylor. Clear your. Let me know about your calendar
We're already
availability
scheduled for
later.
2026, but we'll find time. We'll
We'll
do
do.
it.
One day we'll do it. So
We'll do it.
we'll do it. Um, Again, that was amazing.
Yeah.
To piggyback on more Taylor Navarro,
Mm,
I got to enjoy the POC hangout space
mm,
in other previous Dragon Meet iterations called the POC Lounge. This is a space that is organized by and intended for uh, people who identify as POC and are TTRPG fans with at Dragonmeet. I am a Latina woman. I present very differently from someone who is typically white or Caucasian presenting. And as such, when I'm in these kind of spaces, when I leave my house here in
mm,
Europe, I don't see people that look like me. And over time, whether or not there's microaggressions, whether or not there's good or bad people, sometimes there's a weight of just like not seeing yourself around you.
mm,
And Taylor Navallo's work over the past previous years is having a physical space where you literally see people around you
mm,
who are more than likely going to understand what you go through without it having been said, or you know exactly what the right thing to say to comfort because you've been in those steps. So there is no magical barrier that if you don't have enough melanin or something, you're immediately expelled. Like it's all sort of voluntary, but this is the intention, respect the space, because it is a space that is also um, multifaceted with multi members of the community. It is typically also a space that is very accessible, as in health wise. It is a
mm.
space that is typically more ventilated. Masks are more liberally encouraged here, et cetera, et cetera. And we had a nice chill time. This was a chunk of the time rather than a whole day thing
Mm,
because Taylor's also very busy and new place. We don't know demographics.
mm.
And we were sort of chilling about, like slow beginning of the day, relaxing, like maybe a handful of us in there until Taylor runs to get a phone call, comes back a little harried, and says, the boss is coming. The
Quick,
director
look
of
busy.
Dragon Meet is coming, and they're bringing journalists and a photographer. Ida jumped up and said, I'm calling in the brown people. And within 10 minutes, we like triplicated the
Mm.
people in that room.
Some of us were down in the con hall. I had gone to get coffee with Sam and Megan. I was like, just need a little sit down. I'm fine. I'm not overwhelmed. Just gonna have a little rest. Okay, we need to go and find people. We were like running around saying, you get off. Who can cover you on the stand? Go. Sam went to cover Jeremy at 3 sales. Jeremy came running up. Khalil found cover. I had several different messages from several different people on several different platforms saying, find the POC and send them all our way. And you can see like a stream of people moving towards the door. It was like a military operation, and we nailed it.
It was, and then, like I said, boom. I mean, I I it how to word. I recognize that it's a very different message when you have a handful of close people
Mm.
versus a room of thriving spaces. And because Dragon Meet is one day we're going to get to later, there's a lot of difficulties to having that all happen concurrently at once.
Yeah.
But when it did happen for this very specific instance, it was just like, this is like exceptionally extra cool. A shame that we have to like sort of push the button, force it a little bit instead of it
Yeah.
organically happening. Because
Mm.
as people in the room said, POC ourselves, we were saying we tend to be very relaxed, not always on time, and that's just how we flow, and that can be
Mm-hmm.
okay. But when we need to show the other people, like, hey, these initiatives need to sort of keep happening.
Yeah.
Here's the receipts.
The proof in the pudding. Yeah.
They all showed up, and it was amazing. All of a sudden, there was like what 5 different conversation circles happening within the space, and it was glorious and it was reaffirming. And we all sort of had the talks that I won't like necessarily share on this stream because of the
Yeah.
audio, like kind of talks.
Mm.
We've made new friends. People have joined the Discord server. We have new friends in the POC only channel, for
Yeah.
example.
That's
And
huge.
it it's a literal space where it was a clean, ventilated room, but also like there was immediate kinship. And then we sort of, I hope to everyone who was in the room, went back out and sort of felt a little re-energized, repowered to do all the usual things in the usual struggles. So thank
Do
you,
you think?
Taylor, for organizing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Taylor, we fucking love Taylor. Give Taylor all of the flowers.
Mhm.
Also, sofas. We cannot underestimate the power of a sofa on a day when you've been walking around on concrete floors for several hours. Did you feel like, and again, this is not an invitation to be critical of
Yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Meat or Taylor or any, like, just as an observation, did you actually feel like it worked slightly better as a timed event, or would you have rather had it as an all day drop in, drop out thing?
I think that if Dragon Meet or venue had been a bit more intentional in
Mm,
advertising, communication, signaling,
mm,
it can work as an all-day event.
mm.
But because these things were not really done, Dragon Meet doesn't really have does not have a social media presence.
No, true.
The community members and people who personally organize are the ones trying to get the message out, but reach is only so limited. There
Yeah.
weren't any printout signs for any of the things, regard POC Hangout Space or otherwise, for it.
Mm,
So, uh, if those sort of foundational things can be in place, I think there can be a space for having a close to all day thing.
mhm,
But if this had been an all day thing and this foundation work was also not done, you would have a mostly empty room. And we have to also understand there are other priorities and other needs that might not reflect positively.
mm.
So it's very circumstantial.
Yeah.
I wish that these sort of things, Dragon Meet or otherwise, could be so well communicated and well shouted about, that this room is like just too small because it's constantly full, because
Mhm,
people walking around the floor see, oh, there are spaces for this or that. I know exactly
mhm.
where to go and how to make use of it.
Yeah. I think it was not to defend the white people.
Mhm.
I think there was a lot of unknowns, like not just in relation to that, in relation to a
Right.
lot of things about the new venue, of not knowing how many rooms there were, how many were available, where they were located, and then
Mhm.
how to get to them. Like especially just knowing that tiny little door in the corner of the hall led to all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's definitely a point of maybe communicate that slightly better ahead of time. But I imagine it'll be easier to do that next time
Yeah.
because of the experience of this year. So
Yeah. I can't wait to see if, I wonder if there will be like the usual Google Doc. Hey, what was your experience? Da, 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 da. I don't know.
don't know.
I don't know. That'd be kind of nice. But yeah, that was the POC Hangout Space in Ida yelling, "Assemble the Browns!"
Bring them here.
And then the rest of the day was doing crime on our wallets.
The final point that Evan says, if there was food in that lounge, it would be a very different matter. It would be very, very different about getting people there. Given the low numbers, a time space was better, but if there was food, you would get motherfuckers there. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
An incentivization works for any sort of
Yeah.
space.
Mm.
I talked about previous conventions where there were things specifically for POC, as in professional networking spaces specifically for because of etc. So external incentivization will always work. Yeah, and then we did crimes to our wallets, and we met up with people. I'm minding the time. We're okay. We're okay on time. I'm okay on
We're okay.
time.
Yeah. I can go. We're gonna do an hour.
I
We
can do a
can
little.
do 90 minutes. Why
I
the
can do.
fuck not?
Ida can totally. So we talked to a lot of people, and I started taking
Mm.
photos and then stopped taking photos.
I'm gonna start. We start doing a haul because I want to show off the first thing that I received.
I can also show off the very first
It
thing I
wasn't.
received.
It wasn't the antlers. The first thing I received was from Ida. Ida, will you pronounce that for me?
The writer,
The
and
writer.
those are vlokken. Vlokken is the word sort of translated into English as flakes. That's kind of, I think, the word it comes from. Vlokken, flakes. And in the Netherlands, I'm based in the Netherlands. Still boggles my mind. A typical breakfast can be a slice of bread with butter, soft spreadable butter or margarine, and then you sprinkle chocolate sprinkles on them. But if you want to be extra, you get pure chocolate, dark chocolate shavings on them, and that's that. They're not wax covered like Jimmy's or sprinkles, ice cream
Mm-mm.
sprinkles. Mm-mm.
That's just chocolate. That's good chocolate. I haven't had it on bread or toast yet, but I can see that working. I don't know how I feel about the butter,
It
about
has
it
to
being
stick.
just
It has
like
to stick to
it
something.
has to stick. But I liked your suggestion of peanut butter. I think that's more my alley.
That
I might give
is,
that a go.
there might be some within the Netherlands. I mean, but like audacious. My goodness, it's not that might not always be standard. It's not
Mm.
unseen. Everyone does their own thing. Some
Yeah,
people use like Nutella, and you do you, but I might have thoughts about it.
I've got to go from Ruben, so I'm clean. I'm clear as far as I'm
You
concerned.
you do everything you can. You're taking
I will
advice from
report
someone
back.
who cannot toss a dice into a tray. I love you. That was the only mention I'm gonna get in.
Fucking
Sorry. I
they're
okay.
just out here sharing food opinions, and I just said, sit the fuck down.
I love Ruben. Ruben's my baby.
Incredible.
I'm gonna feed Ruben extra next time I see them. Okay. Uh, the first thing I received was actually the day before the con. I got gifted a very small game, and it was very
Mm,
nice.
yes.
This
It's
is
so
the
small.
this is the game I got gifted.
Who's
This
it
is
by?
a game gifted to me by Innocent Goblin of our community. There is the game. It is called A Hostile Work Environment, and it is a tiny little microscopically printed out game.
So cute. That's so well put together as well. So Michael had like a box full of these, all different games, and was just handing them out. And like it's a big piece of paper that's been meticulously folded down and like
Very
I
good.
don't know, stitched or just folded. Like mine had staples in it,
Nope,
and I
nope.
can't even begin
Origami
to
folded.
imagine the logistics that went into like it's I'm immediately thinking of the thing about Microsoft Word where you move what it must have just been an absolute nightmare. So amazing. Kudos to Michael for pulling those together.
Adorable. I loved it, and I hope everyone gets a chance to play with their tiny little small games. Thank you so much for
Yes.
this little gift. I appreciate
Oh,
it
there
very much.
Michael's in chat. Hi Michael, thank you for our little games. I don't have mine, it's still in my suitcase, which I haven't unpacked yet. But they're absolutely wonderful.
So let's see what else we got today. I also got sort of just tossed this game, and I got told this was by Lori, but there's no other explanation of the creator
Hmm.
and their socials. I got a
Which
one
Lauren?
page. I don't know. I just like, what's your name? Who
Oh,
are you, Lori? And I'm like,
I think that might be Laurie O'Connell.
this game does not condone murder.
Let me
It's a
check.
little one page. Does that look like them?
I'm typing, so I've muted myself, but I'm looking it up.
You are a lone devil hunter, the kind that tracks your prey with a Google search, a trunk full of salt, holy water, and guns. You spent the last 2 months tracking down the most evil devil you've ever come across, and basically describes like high capitalisms.
Yes, it is Laurie O'Connell. He of
Cool.
Sleeping Above a Stolen Crown, which is one of my favorite Lancer modules. Yeah, that looks rad.
Yeah.
We hate capitalism. Love that.
Player two is the CEO, the devil wearing the face of a millionaire.
Interesting.
I might have to add this to a special folder I have for one-page games. So that was
Ooh.
This game does not condone murder by Laurie O'Connor.
Connell.
By Laurie O'Connell.
Was he just
Woo!
like running around handing them out and you
Yes,
went,
yes.
oh, love that. Love that. Love that. I'm gonna do my non-game stuff first. Our friend Ari at Lucky Leaf Teas, who sponsored the Letternet Heritage Month game. I had never bought Lucky Leaf Teas before, but based on this one, I was like, I'm gonna go support a little company who believes in us and gave us some support. I got 3 or 4 like little sample ones, like 25 grams.
Oh,
I
nice.
fell the fuck in love with this. This is Artificers or Artificers, however you say it, assistant. And I like an Earl Grey. Earl Grey is probably my favorite kind of tea, an Earl Grey or a
Mm-hmm.
Lady Grey. This is a vanilla caramel Earl Grey. It
Interesting.
is like a hug in a cup. It is so good. So I went through my 25 grams straight away, walked up to Ari and said, deal me the biggest bag that you have. So now I have 100 grams of this deliciousness and I cannot wait to drink it. Oh,
It's the right season for that.
right.
Perfectly so.
My husband also had a peruse of the catalog. I was like, could you get me some sorcerer's spice to try? And we had a little mug of that last night. And it was lovely. Like, we couldn't give you an overarching flavor. Like, it didn't taste like any one thing. It was just warm. It was just mildly spicy and tingly and warm. It was absolutely delicious. All of
And
their tea are really, really good. Highly recommend.
An extra special thanks to our friends who personally told us later that
Mm,
they went to Lucky Leaf Tea to get tea and told them, we saw you on Euphoria.
yeah,
Thank you so much for that extra shout out.
yeah,
That means a lot to us and to Lucky Leaf Teas because it
yeah.
reinforces like the kind of work they do. I do believe that certain groups also help to sponsor the PSC Hangout. I do believe Lucky Leaf Tea was one of those
Oh,
as
good.
well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is helpful because we always say to like sponsors, oh, we have a really lovely community of people and they are really excited about the things that we talk about. If we talk about a game, it's really likely that they'll at least click the link and go and check it out. And then it's more likely that they're actually going to buy it and support you. So that really helps us in terms of assuring sponsors that it's worth their investment. And we love it when it's worth their investment because then we get money and we love money. It
And we
means that we
also
can
join, sorry, go
pay
ahead.
people. Just that it means we can pay people. We pay our cast, we can pay our GMs. Um, Something like the disability representation
Mm,
panel
mhm, mhm, mhm.
wasn't sponsored, but we were able to pay those panelists a per diem because of the money that we've acquired through
Yes.
sponsorships, like or Twitch or Patreon. Every little helps, and we do our best to funnel as much of it as we can back to the people who help us do what we do. We pay ourselves as well because fuck, we work, but nowhere near as much as we should be getting because we try and prioritize other people. So if you see a sponsor and you're interested in what they do, go and support them, go and follow them, go and buy their products, and tell them we sent you.
And at the very least, I know that the economy, I'm not going to go any further on that, is what it is. At the
Mm,
very least, could you, another we can do, Sala, is just click the link. Click
yeah.
the link, let your eyes behold what it is. If you can't do it, that's okay. You considered it. That's already a really big step.
Hmm.
Thank you for the clicks because they're all
Yeah.
like sort of tracked and affiliated and all the things.
Super, super helpful.
So Lucky Leaf Tea, like super
Should I do my
MVP.
other non-book one?
Sure.
Another, see, it's a really good segue because this is another company who has sponsored us and supported us before. And so we go out of our way to support them too. Ever heard of fucking Rune Fable? Ever seen the most beautiful dice that you'll ever see in your entire life? Miles, who is their artisanal dice maker, is just unfairly talented at this. Every dice that I've ever seen, they did the Paint the Town Red ones, the special like blood red vampire. Oh,
Those are
so gorgeous,
hot.
so gorgeous. Um, And if you're in the Discord, you may have heard that it was mentioned once or twice that we have a little Daggerheart home group going. We've been playing for time wise, I couldn't tell you, but we're on like session 10. And Sam, who is our GM, is terrible at keeping secrets and told us one session, by the way, when I see you at Dragonmeet, I'm going to be giving you a gift. I've
Oh,
commissioned Miles to
what
get you
the
each
hell?
a set of 2d12s because in Daggerheart you roll 2d12s, one hope, one fear. And these are the dice that we roll. He asked us like what we felt, which colors were best representative of hope and fear, and you can't quite see it because of the camera clipping, but the special edition of the box, which I have, I've just ruined everything on my desk, is gold and purple.
Holy moly!
So we now have a beautiful set of
Sharp,
gold, sharp,
sharp.
sparkly, with the tendrils, with the beautiful color floating through 2d12s. This is hope and this is fear. And they are stunning. The camera isn't doing them justice right now. The sparkles are so vibrant. The colors are perfectly matched to that book, which is wild. And they roll really well.
Sharp, shiny math rocks.
So because Sam can't keep a secret, we went behind his back and I messaged Miles and I said, "Hey, can you do him one from us as well?" And I don't have it to show off, unfortunately, because we gave it to Sam. The GM in Dragonmeet, all GMs
Wow.
in Dragonmeet,
Wow. Big one.
Daggerheart just roll d20s, and Runefable do big chunky d20s. So we commissioned Miles to design one for Sam to roll. We're doing like a skyship campaign, and the BBEG who is sort of lurking in the background is all like flame and shadow. So he did this absolutely beautiful dice as half hand painted sky and clouds, and half deep
Wow.
black with these red fiery tendrils, with the glitter, with the shimmer. Oh, so beautiful. And Sam had no idea, and we got him. We got him. It was great.
Yay.
So yeah, shout out Rune Fable. All their stuff is beautiful. And just really appreciated that really sweet gesture. It's great.
Let's see. I do have another non-art gift.
Mm,
I will be transparent where I can. I got gifted this. We both got gifted something when we visited
yeah.
the Three Cell
Oh yeah.
Studios. We got gifted a beautiful art card,
Burb.
and I was said like burp. I like burp. This is burp. It's burp for me. This is burp for me now. And their game Mappa Mundi is a game. It's an ecology and exploration RPG. There is like no sort of corner point of mechanic for violence or combat. No like new land mine. No, we're not doing a colonialism here.
Nope.
Where there are instead fantastical beasts or monsters. They're not monstrous, we're just calling monsters, but fantastical beasts that have suddenly appeared after this cataclysm worldwide event. And you go to learn about them, their habitat, their behaviors, and that's sort of the plot forward thing. And the art in this game is beautiful, and we got these
Stunning.
beautiful, detailed, high quality HD printouts of some of the beasts of that world, and this is gorgeous.
Because I'm contrary, I chose the one that didn't have a beast, but it's just such stunning. It's one of the cities in the world. And I think I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm sorry, George and Jeremy, if you're watching. I think it's called the Kikal Rift because it has all these incredible chasms, and the fact that this city is built like on the edge with some of it stretching across. I love a cityscape. It's got real Blades in the Dark vibes, and it's just. But then there's these characters who are like, if you've got the book, you'll have seen them throughout. They're like the sort of template party. They're
Yep,
on the cover of the. Yeah,
they're
there they
right
are.
there too.
They're in almost all of them because there's like one each of the classes, and there's some really really beautiful prose, like short stories about them. And I just love that they were sort of first and foremost. It's that real vibe of exploration. Like here's this whole new world laid out in front of us. Let's go and see what we can find.
So
So
big thanks to Three Cell
thank you,
Studios for the
George.
very nice
Going on
gift.
my wall. I'm gonna find a frame
Yes.
for that.
Yes. We'll see them next time UKGE if that goes well or Dragon Meat. And I have to bring Dutch curry sauce.
For George, yeah.
Let's see
More
what.
of those caramel chocolate bars and curry sauce.
Okay, that is a okay.
Man's a fiend.
That's okay.
It's
That's how
okay.
I do my diplomacy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got.
You do another one.
Going through my things. I got two more gifts. I happened to get like unprompted. I got gifted at two modules for
Oh.
5e, and I was like, I don't really play 5e nowadays, but nonetheless, I just wanted to give a shout out for the lovely gifts. I got an excerpt called "Tears of the Stone" by Ecomophobes, an adventure by
Ooh.
David Blaney. And what I perused from this
Yes.
gift, this is a small part from a bigger backer kit that is coming out called Islands of Weird Hope. And
Mm.
this is basically how to explain post-apocalyptic world with robots and like sort of rebuilding with
Ooh.
sort of like these faces in that world.
Yes, we'd love to see that.
That's what we love to see. And this is sort of a mini adventure, sort of taking the NPC back and forth to some place for supplies, for
Oh,
a little
cool.
bit of meeting the other village leader, what the people can do.
Mm.
It's a very small little adventure. It's really well done.
How
And
deeply entrenched in 5e is it? Like, how easily could you port that to something like, say, Daggerheart or Pathfinder or an OSR game?
not too sure because the postcard comes says a procedure heavy TTRPG solo and group play. And I'm like,
Ooh.
nowhere does it say it's 5e, but reading through it, like I immediately see like sort of 5e stats on it. Like,
Stats.
so I wonder without having seen the completed game what that's
Mm.
going to be like. So that's
Interesting.
the Tears from the Stone adventure. And the
Yeah.
other one I got was this is by the home bakery called the Rootless
Oh.
Boutiques, and this is a game the company I have seen before. And what I
Yes.
love about these sort of upcoming products at conventions or in our spaces, when they very clearly state that they are human
Yes.
made. I
Yes.
like a clear and proud disclaimer that no generative AI has been used at steps to create
Hmm.
the artistic and the creative endeavor. So I love that.
Yeah.
And this is a more a witchy sort of vibed adventure
Okay.
path as well. We have some lovely art. This
Ooh.
one's a bit more fleshed out. We have sort of
Yeah.
fae vibes, witchy vibes. I
Interesting.
believe you're running a store, so you have like tables of
Yes.
stocks and prices,
Love a
and that
table.
is all really love. I also love a table, and this seems like really easily well laid out. It has lots of unique sort of items, so I'm sure that at any other time you can port them to your own sort of
Hmm.
games. I love a Corvid. There's Corvids in
You
there.
do.
I really like Corvid.
Even if you don't always recognize which COVID is which.
Different. We'll go into that. So that's the Rootless Boutique by the Home Bakery, a 5e
That's
compatible
gorgeous.
adventure.
That artwork, like I know it's you're holding it up and it almost looks holographic. Like that background is very realistic. Like it looks really tactile. It's really beautiful.
It's a matte, so maybe that's why.
Oh, very, very nice.
What else
Yeah,
we get?
Ruben points out the style of that image that you showed was absolutely phenomenal. Highly agree. Little tip about like trying to get us to pay attention to your game. If you have melanated faces anywhere in your game, we looking. We looking. Um I don't have it to show, but a sort of side shout out to Stop Drop Roll Games
Mm-hmm.
and Why We Fight. They have their games back from the printers, and if you backed it on BackerKit, you'll probably be receiving it in the next couple of weeks. I'm very, very excited. They have some of the most representative art I've ever seen in a game. There are melanated faces, there are disabled bodies, there are thick bodies, there are small bodies. Everybody is represented in that game. I was talking to the artist and he was like, "Yeah, I put myself in there. I put Laurie and Ree in there. My daughter
Yes,
is in there. My
that's
dog is in there." And I just
beautiful.
love that, like taking that from real life. He was like, "This is one of the best parts of the job is I get to just draw whoever I want." But I really, really love that they go out of their way to make sure that everybody is represented in that game. And it looks fucking stunning. So stunning, I lost my antlers. I'm very
Oh no!
excited about that in the post. It's beautiful. But what do I have? What do
What
I
you
have
get?
in my hand? Speaking of things that are beautiful, oh my god. Oh my god. I got Mythic Bastion Land because it's so pretty. This is Mythic Bastion Land by Chris McDowell. If you've played Into the Odd or Electric Bastion Land, it's the same setting, but this is like the mythic history of that setting. You play as knights. You play as fucking knights, my dude. I'm very lucky in that I get to play a game of this with some excellent friends. We're all just big women gay knights, and it's stunning. It's a stunning book. I paid far too much for it. Don't ask me, my wallet will cry, but look at it. At least it's a game that I actually play. At least I didn't spend this much money on a book that's just going to sit on my shelf. I play this game. I love this game. Very simple, like just OSR style game with extra horse mechanics, because who doesn't want horse mechanics? Um, Hex crawl, really interesting, every like different kinds of knights. And if you're in the server and you've ever wondered why the fuck is Darcy's name Voice of the Skies, it's because of this game. Because Drew, who is the GM, one day was just reading through it and asked people to randomly roll up their knights. And I did, and I rolled the knight that I am playing. I stuck with it. I am playing this knight now, even though when we did this, I had no intention of ever playing the game. Um, I will tell you when I find it. What number am I looking for? Come on, let's do this. There's so many knights. This is the page of knights, and they all have a different vibe. They're all beautifully illustrated. Oh, oh, there's so many. I have to go so far through the book. They're all so beautiful. Look at that. It's because I rolled the Thunder Knight, um, and I have the power in game to be really fucking loud. And if you're sitting there thinking that doesn't sound like Darcy, bitch, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. My powers lead into being a Discord mod, essentially. There he is. Obviously, that's not exactly my knight. I'm playing the female version. But my god,
Ooh.
it's loud, and it was knighted by a sentient D20. How is that not my
What
vibe?
the hell?
It's so good. It's so unique. It's so just such a really creative take on quite an old, like tried and tested trope. It's very, very interesting, and it's riddled with artwork. You can't go through a page without finding absolutely stonking artwork. Highly, highly recommend. Beautiful book. Bye, Atlas.
Goodbye for now, Antlers. What else? I treated myself to a solo RPG called Be Like a Crow, created by Tim Roberts. Be Like a Crow was also awarded the UK Games Expo's Best Role Playing Game Gold Award for 2023.
Mm.
And if you know me a little bit, I really like corvids. I really like crows. I have my own murder at home. I have several murders. They recognize me. I name them. I know their territories. And I never leave my house without shelled peanuts. Every pocket I have is dedicated to a bag of peanuts. And they haven't brought me shinies yet, but I feel their love. So I'm going to like probably spend like the holiday or something just
Mm.
playing through this wonderful crow game where I get to like be a crow and find shiny things. You in this game for one player, you get to take on the role of a corvid, exploring the world and completing objectives whilst meeting other creatures and collecting weird and wonderful objects.
Ooh.
All you do to start playing are these rules: a pen, paper, a deck of cards. You can choose to play a crow, a raven, a rook, jackdaw, or magpie and journey through one of the 6 settings: urban, cyber, steampunk, fantasy, gothic, and Tower of London.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Interesting. I like that there's different settings. That gives it like replayability.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
I'm a completionist. This will be indeed replayed.
Absolutely. It's gonna happen. It's gonna
That
happen.
that is Be Like a Crow, a solo RPG created by Tim Roberts.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Did you get? Yeah, I think you got that from the same place that I got this next book, because that's the same name
Yeah.
that's on the cover of this. I believe Tim Roberts. That was the Critical Kits stand,
Yes.
correct? Yeah, 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 yeah. They do a bunch of really wonderful stuff. This I think was like the thing that must be new that they were pushing, because there was a beautiful stand. Look at this motherfucker! It's hot
Oh,
pink.
it's so pretty and
It's
colorful.
Punk is Dead, which is a Mork Borg adjacent game. Now, I love a bit of Morky Borky. I don't play a lot of it because it's quite a simple game, and I think once you've played a little bit of it, you kind of got the gist. And I played a lot of it when it first came out. This is a really new twist. This is like it's labeled a post-apocalyptic songwriting TTRPG. Now, I did ask, and there isn't actually a mechanic for writing songs in this, but there is ample opportunity if you have the correct sort of group to do your own thing. Come up with some lyrics, come up with a beat, come up with a whole fucking album if you want to, because you play as a band. The classes are like vocalist, guitarist, bassist, drummer, and the goal of the game is to go around and play gigs, is to spread punk and fuck shit up. The reason that I went from, oh, this is kind of cool, to this is coming home with me is because it's canonically set in the UK. Of course, it is punk. That's where punk came from. But any book that has a map of the UK or like European location, it's the vibes. We're going with it. Scotland is labeled the Fern Jungle. The North is labeled the Grim. And Ireland is just called Status Unknown, which gave A4 a really good giggle. It's just, again, it has that classic sort of Morkborg, really aesthetic vibes, heavy interior, but it's a nice sort of chunky book. Like there's a decent amount of content in there, and there's actually an adventure in the back as well. So you could run a whole campaign with it. I like that it was a bit unique, a bit of substance, and just a bit different.
That book
And you
is
can
really
play
a
with a
feast
chainsaw,
for the eyes.
right? And a big chainsaw. Who doesn't want that?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's Punk is Dead, a post-apocalyptic songwriting TTRPG, also created by Tim Roberts.
Kick ass.
Parental advisory contains effing and jeffing. Also, all fascists are bound to lose.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What else did I pick up? I made a point to really go out of my way and notice how to say TTRPG professionals creators from continental Europe,
Yes.
because I recognize we are speaking English, and it is my primary language, and thus it is sort of an easy sort of thing to reach for English language games, and thus and English language people tend to make English language games, and they tend to be based in the UK. Yes, across all the other European countries, people also speak English. But I also recognize that, hey, people might be not as comfortable speaking English, or they don't feel that they're very perfect, very academic and wonderful, and just they might feel it's not up to snuff. It is, but they can have those feelings, and those are valid, but it's unfortunate nonetheless. I did come across a representative from Need Games, which is the company that makes Fabula Ultima.
Yes. We got some Fabula Ultima fans in the Discord.
Fabula Ultima, if you're not familiar, is a TTJRPG game that I believe won 2024 any Gold Best Game of the Year for a TTRPG that sort of embodies the storytelling hits that are commonly found in Japanese role-playing video games. And it sort of borrows this story beat through your own. It's a wonderful game. I highly encourage you to check it out. I have seen the digital version, but I decided to treat myself to the press start version of the game, which, as the representative Mateo told me, this is a pocket version of the game that is literally pick up and start. He said that a potential GM, wouldn't have to read this in advance to run it.
Huh.
As soon
That's
as
a
you
bold
open,
claim.
that's a claim. I want
Yeah.
to put this to the test. He said, like, you can show up to a convention as a GM, never having opened this book, and just linearly go through the steps, and you will have ran the game.
Amazing if true.
I can, but I want to believe that. I mean, they make good games. They seem trustworthy, so I'm inclined to believe that. It includes the wonderful art that we all are familiar with from Fabula Ultima. Where's beautiful art? These sort of like beautiful caricatures. There's a cat lady, a tasteful cat lady. Love a tasteful cat lady.
I believe
We
Gask is in that book. Yes, big sword mommy.
We love thick metal sword mommy in actual armor. In actual armor. There we go. There's a bigger picture of mommy.
Oh yes, hi mommy.
Hello.
Hit me with your sword.
So that is the Fabula Ultima Press Start version by Need Games.
We love a quick start that starts you playing the game quickly. It's like the holy grail. Everyone's always trying to do it. People do it with varying degrees of success. Don't fuck off, Creeper. You don't know me. You don't know me. Um, yeah, that's I would love to see that claim put to the test because that is huge if true, and I think a lot of people could do with picking that up and like seeing how it's done.
Like I really want to encourage my husband to my husband is a wonderful TTRPG player.
Mm.
Hasn't like sort of dipped their toes into GMing at all yet, any game. And I'm sort of like, hey, hey, you should check this out. You can beat it
Slide
in
it across
advance
the
too,
table.
but you should check this out. We can
Mm.
play this.
Yeah, I've heard multiple excellent things from like players and GMs that I whose opinions I really really trust about Fabula Ultima. It sounds phenomenal. Why has no one ever pitched it for our channel? Hey gang, sort it out.
Hi. Hi.
You're too late for this year, but another time. I've got like 6 things left. I've spent too much money, you guys. Somebody who really helped me out with that by again giving us a wonderful, beautiful gift, which I did not expect and was not angling for in the slightest. But we saw Sam Armstrong I don't think I'd put together that it was Sam Armstrong, and we were like. We just started walking around. We were like, let's try and find some diverse people. Let's
Mm-hmm.
try and bypass the like really obviously cishet straight guys because there's enough of those about. And we saw Sam Armstrong. And without delving into stereotypes, we walked over and Ida said to Sam, with all the love in the world, I mean this affectionately, you gay? And Sam said, yes, what gave me away? Part of it was the marketing and like the imagery that they were using to advertise this game. This game is Tales from the Spectral Sea. Look, that ocean is gay.
That is such a gay
Change my
ocean.
mind, right?
So gay. The gayest ocean. I
There's
need a
so
drink.
many.
I need to swim in that.
She thirsty. Sam has so many like peripherals for this game, which is not necessarily a selling point or whatever, but it did a lot to have it all on the table to give us the vibe of this game. And so we could see all of the playbooks. And I don't know if you've watched, you better have watched Our Flag Means Death. It seems to me like a cross between that and the Monkey Island games. Age yourself in one sentence, Darcy. But like, she's gay. And this old woman's gay.
Mm.
I fucking love her, by the way.
Give me a
Um,
variety of ages, please. Thank you.
You want to talk about melanated characters? You want to talk about representation just baked right in? Look
That-
at this fucking guy,
That dude is fluorescent.
right? Um,
I mean that
Daddy
positively.
is here.
I
Not
need a
just sword mommies. We got
I
anchor
need a
daddies.
hug.
Um, Big old mommy. We love to see the thick representation. Again, none of it is particularly. There's also a frog. None of it is particularly drawn attention to. Sam was like, at no point in this game does it say you gotta be gay, but burb,
Burp.
like burb. That's disability representation right there. It's not even calling attention to itself, but it's fucking there. Sam was like, it's about found family. It is explicitly, mechanically about finding other people who are like you and lifting them up and helping them solve their trauma. And it just screams gay, and we loved it. We had such a lovely conversation with them, and we explained who we were and what we were doing, and Sam just went, here. So I promised that we would talk about it. I'm going to talk about it on the next EU Creators with Love
Yep.
as well, just to try and give Sam some like investment
Extra.
return. Yeah. But also, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's clearly such a labor of love. The layout is fantastic. There's beautiful artwork all throughout. And I'm going to spend some time actually like reading the rules and getting to grips with it. And I can really see this being something that I run or play because age yourself, Darcy. The fucking Monkey Island games were everything to me as a child.
You can run it on our Discord server. It doesn't have to be necessarily a stream thing. It
I
can be like
could.
more like
No.
yeah.
No, of course. But again, I like to run things off stream to vibe out how they're gonna work on stream. I think this could be something for sure. I'm also trying to find the image. It was an art print, but I can't see it in the book, with a very obvious trans man just sunbathing on a beach, and you could see the top surgery scars, and I just thought it was beautiful.
That really was front and center on the table as
Yes, it
well, and
was.
it was just like,
That's why we like gay,
yay,
very
yay,
passionately
gay,
gay.
gay, gay, gay.
Yeah, Tales from
I
the Spectral Sea by Sam Armstrong. Absolutely love that.
I also picked up something from Sam's table.
Yes.
I picked up a little scene because I was like, I still kind of want to throw my little pennies
Mhm.
at you if I could. If I, and I did have some. It was the start of the day, so that's
It
what I
was
had.
literally the first table you and I walked up to, and we were like, "We're done. We've peaked. It's not going to get better than that."
Hello, wizard. I have a problem.
That's such a good
This is says, "Hello, wizard. I have a problem." Is a fast-paced TTRPG that lets you and as many friends as you can find at short notice pretend to be wizards for the whole evening. The players take turns having the spotlight, while the other players get to act as the GM or suggest way that the wizard's spell can go wrong. Once everyone has had a couple of goes, someone is crowned the best wizard.
title. Ooh,
Inside, you'll find a simple rule system where every action you take is guaranteed to cause chaos. A quote, problem generator, unquote, capable of making over 200,000 evocative prompts to build your scene from. A quick method for setup to get you playing in no time. Play advice and optional rules for making this for play advice and optional rules to make playing this weird little game as accessible as possible.
love that.
It's like really cute,
That's
easy
so
to digest
cute.
line art.
Who does
Um,
Sam's art? I need to find
uh,
out.
Angry Frog.
Lemon Pip. I don't know who Lemon Pip is. Additional illustration by Alderdoodle. Oh, that must be the like the borders and things. That looks very Ramona to me.
Alderduder is pretty damn awesome.
Lemon Pip did all this art. I don't know who they are. See if you can find them on socials and follow them and support them.
This art is done by Evelyn Moreau.
Ah, yes, I know who Evelyn Moreau is. Yeah, very,
So,
very good.
Wizard, I have a problem. I remember this was pitched to me by Sam. It's like it's more that the wizard is kind of going out offering, and thus
Mm.
problems occur.
Oh, the wizard is the problem.
Yes,
Incredible. I
the
love
wizard
that.
is it's all problematic, and that was just very cute.
I love that. Okay, couple more, couple more, couple more. The next table we went to, we were suckered in. They were apparently cishet white men passing, shall we say.
Mhm.
However, they had corvids, and so Ida was intrigued.
Right?
Um,
Right?
we had a lovely conversation. I didn't catch that gentleman's name, but the company was Stone Fable, and that was their card, which is why Ida was like, "Corvid must approve."
Right? Right? Right?
Burp, 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 burp.
I thought it was a hooded crow, just like on first glance. It was a magpie.
Sure, it was a magpie. They had several products, but the one that caught my eye, the one that I ended up buying, was Bake Your Own Gingerbread Dungeon. Look how friggin' cute this is, you guys. Everyone's always looking for Christmas games, right? Around this time of year, your group doesn't want to play the normal thing. Everyone still wants to do a charity one shot. Here, they've got you. This is not your average dungeon. And I was told it was 5e adjacent, but there's actually no stat blocks in here, so you can do whatever you want. This is more recipe book than adventure book,
That was
but
really
when I show
interesting.
you, right? When I show you what's in here, like it writes itself. The adventure writes itself. So what you do is you bake yourself a little gingerbread house, and you can do a small cabin, or you can do a slightly larger house, or you can do an even larger mansion. All of the instructions are in there, the recipe is in there. You can do it with vanilla sugar cookies if you don't like gingerbread. Deeply accessible. We love that. And it tells you how to put it all
Show the
together.
little thing. Show the little thing.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Because you make your house, you make your dungeon, and then what does a dungeon need before the adventurers arrive? It needs mobs. Bake your own mince pie mimics.
It's so cute.
Come on. Come on.
That's adorable.
They're the big bads. You've also got coconut lemon snowman cupcakes. The little expressions fucking slay me. Slay. See what I did there?
Ah,
What up, Marcus? You still in the chat? Let's go. And then there's also just marshmallow whipped Christmas trees for decoration.
it's
So you put it all
precious.
together, and you've got a little edible dungeon, complete with campfire. And like I say, there isn't a full adventure in here, but it writes itself. There's also additional like decorations. Obviously, you need to have a nice tipple while you play, and there's cocktails in there. And like cocktails aside, I was saying when we were talking, like I've got little kids. Like my eldest is 5, and she's approaching the age where getting to sit and play these games that mommy spends so much time on is going to be a realistic thing. And that I'm not going to need to fight to get her involved in that. We're going to have to fight to get through the dungeon before her and my littlest one eat it. That is going to get kids to the table and have them having a whale of a time. And they're going to get involved in doing the baking as well. It just felt like that was such there's so much in that. That's not just a typical dungeon, that's an experience. And so I couldn't help myself. I had to pick it up. And I'm really, really glad I did. Very excited to play that and to do some baking.
Yay! Don't think I sort of stopped making purchases around that time
That was
because like
smart of you.
well then I had like the PSC hangout and then we had a
Yeah.
panel and then it was like last minute talks.
Mhm.
In lieu of I could probably mention it later this month and we'll briefly say
Mm.
um I did find another Italian creative called Nesundova as
Mhm.
well. I found another Dutch creator. I found a whole table of Bulgarian bros.
Yes.
They were very sweet and kind.
Mhm.
I'm gonna shout them out later, but they were giving out like digital copies of like this entire printed tome book called The Devil's Bridge. That the
Mm.
group name is Yellow Madhouse, and they sort of really focus on Slavic folklore for 5e content, but they are
Mhm.
sort of branching out into like other games. And I did have the conversation like, yes, 5e, we recognize that something to
Sells.
do with capitalism, we have to sell a
Yeah.
bit. But hi, we're EU4, and we want to also try to give it love and attention
Mhm.
to original games and original, nuanced, underrepresented storytelling, which is this group. And 5e or not, maybe their future games, original system or adaptations to Pathfinder, Daggerheart, etc., because they're also
Mhm.
popular.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to see representation. And I think everyone I talked to also received on my end strobe waffles.
Yes. Yeah. If you're ever tabling at a con and you get hungry, just shout Ida. She always has food and she will feed you.
Like I need to get business cards that just basically have like me holding like food
Have
and
you eaten? And on the
that
back it says, "You gay?"
Ida doesn't look like this. Ida looks like this. Vision
True.
obscured holding food to your face.
At cons, for sure, for sure. I got a couple more, but I'll two are real things and two are things that are coming up soon that we're very excited about and had lovely conversations with the people about. So I'll go through these fairly quickly. It's become a running joke now that at every con I go to, I walk up to Johnny Sims at MacGuffin and Co. and say, "What am I spending my money on today, Johnny? I own everything MacGuffin have ever published, and I don't regret a goddamn thing." But this year I said, "I don't think you've got anything new, do you?" And Johnny said, "Aha! Actually." I have shouted out Pitcrawler on our Year 4 European Creative We Love stream before. If you don't know, it's a two-player game with a GM and a player, very OSR, very rules light, high on the wackiness, the sort of Monty Python-esque absurdist comedy. Very accessible, very, very fun. And now they have solo rules. They
Ooh.
took a two-player game and said, that's too many players, let's just have one. But the twist is you are not a solo player in this game. You are the solo GM. You GM for the NPP, the non-player player. And I have been informed and must reiterate, it's very, very important. This must be a tangible physical thing. You must seek out a teddy bear, a rubber duck, a hand crocheted Grogu, your sleeping cat, whatever it may be. You must find them, set them in one place, and say, "You're going into a dungeon, my child. Best of luck. And you must narrate as a GM out loud, otherwise, it doesn't count. It's the same basic rules as Pitcrawler. You do need the core rules to be able to play. This is just a dinky little add on zine. Um, but basically, you draw cards to inform you of your NPP's choices. And depending on what they do, you have this handy dandy table. And then you can sort of narrate your response as a GM to what happens. And again, just full of this beautiful OSR style art. And I just thought that was so unique and wonderful. Like everyone knows, I'm not a sort of person who really vibes with solo games a lot because I feel like I should be doing something more productive. But I feel like this feels more accessible to me. I am a forever GM. I love GMing. This feels like something that I would be able to spend time on because it would feel like GM practice. If you're
Yeah.
the kind of person who's like never got behind the GM screen or is maybe a little bit worried about it, this would be great practice. You could record yourself, you could listen to it back. Um, and your sleeping cat is going to judge you, but not for that. It'll be for different things like cats judge you for. And because I was on a roll, everybody who had like roll the dice to get a discount at their table on Saturday really regretted meeting me because I rolled like two 20s, two 19s, and an 18 at all the places that I tried them. And so I got a free zine. And I said again, Johnny, that's not going to work. I own everything. And he went, actually, no, we have a new adventure, a mid level pit crawler adventure. So now I have all of them and I'm going to run my teddy bears through the
Oh,
ringer. They're going to go through all the pits. This one is Assault on the Demon Within the Earth. I've shouted these out because all these adventures are written by Sasha, who is the other half of MacGuffin. And we've talked about these before. They're all really wonderful. That again, that wonderful OSR stuff. We love a fucking map. Who doesn't love a map? Look at that bad boy. So yeah, if you're one of my stuffed toys, Grogu, watch out. This is where you're going.
precious, precious.
So precious. Am I good to keep going?
A little bit, yeah.
I just rattle out mine. Had to collect this, the one-page TTRPG bundle by our good friend Anya at La Leon Publishing. This is such a beautiful little folio. Like it's a really nice, almost kind of plasticky, matte, solid feeling thing. It's not just random bits of cardboard. And it's a lovely collection of all of Anya's best one-page RPGs. We got the holiday one, we got Halloween vibes, we've got potion making, we've got being a goose, we've got being a frog, and we've got characters rebelling against their writer and trying to break out of the story. Something for everybody. I'm really glad to have. I love a physical copy. I love having a PDF, but I love having a physical copy. And the idea of bundling one pages is the idea of rocking up to your group and being like, "Oh, so and so isn't here, and we can't run the main game. Let's just pull something out of the bundle and run with that." Love it. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Good job, Anya. And then the final two things. Do you want to talk about this that's upcoming?
This thing,
This thing.
this thing.
Yeah.
Um, this is some beautiful art that Darcy and I got gifted. I don't have the postcard. There was a postcard that came with it, right?
I got a business card, not a postcard, but we went and talked to our friends at Parable Games because we've been kind of dancing around them for a while. Like we've ran stuff by them, but we haven't really had a proper conversation. We just walked up and said, "Listen, say hello to us," and they said, "Oh, hello," because they're lovely people.
Indeed, indeed. This might look familiar because during Mechtember I got to play the solo RPG. The full title is blanking. Iron Heart. Iron Heart was the title of the game, where you are a mech pilot and your mech is your friend. The mech sort of has this literal ion heart and is sort of growing a consciousness, is sort of growing into an identity with its own quirks, with its own opinions, and of course with its own talents. But they're repurposed mechs in a universe that had been ravaged by war. The wars ended. These mechs need to have purpose. They can be animal herders. They can be agricultural things. They can be for building houses for people and settlers. And the vibes were just beautiful and perfect. So we were gifted a copy of the art signed as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we also heard that a new crowdfunding project is happening for the full non-solo version of the game coming out, to which Darcy was very, 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 very excited about.
because as previously mentioned, Darcy feels doesn't enjoy the solos that much, but loves a fucking mech. My god, I love a mech. Too many mech games to play with groups, but I'm always keen for another one. And knowing Parable, it will be phenomenal. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. We signed up to the mailing list. We're gonna get told about that as soon as it happens, and we're gonna have a conversation with Parable because I think this would be a really good place for them to get an AP going. So we'll
Yeah.
see what we can do. No promises. No promises.
But just in case you missed it, this is art by Parable Games for their solo TTRPG Iron Heart and soon coming full multiplayer game.
And then I only have one thing left, and it is another upcoming follow the backer kit ASAP. This is the first person I spoke to in the hall. I ran in and was like, I'm gonna go and find people. I'm gonna drop my bag with the tumble through lot, and I'm gonna go and start doing the rounds. And then I saw Everis of Button King Games, and I adore Everis. Everis is a wonderful person, and I just had to run over and get a hug and say hi. And again, I think I've got most things that Everis has done, so I wasn't really expecting to spend any money or find out anything new. And then she pulls this flyer out at me and puts it in my
Mm,
hand. He says, Darcy, I think you're going to like this one. This is my next game. It's about
very nice.
75% of the way to being playtestable. It's called A Custom of the Sea. And on the back, it is described as Regency Folk Horror. Oh, yours is fancy and not folded in half. Sorry. Regency, yes. Folk horror, yes. Everything else that Eva said after that, there were phrases like, all the NPCs are romanceable, Darcy. And there's a hex crawl involved, Darcy. And you are various people of various, shall we say, levels of society. You are all on a ship. The Prince Regent happens to be on that ship. And you are marooned. The ship is wrecked on an uncharted island, and you must survive. There's like a timer, an inbuilt timer, which is another thing I fucking love in a game, is a clock and a definitive end. You just have to survive, but then it creates all this tension. You are part of court still, and you have to maintain all these airs and graces and do things correctly in front of the Prince Regent, but also you got to live, you got to survive, and you're on the cusp of wilderness, and you're going to have to do some ungentlemanly, unladylike things in order to survive. The idea of the tension between those two things is very, very juicy to me. So I'm very excited for this game. I am. I've said to Everest that we have some wonderful playtesters in our Discord, as we've discovered, some people who are incredibly insightful. Um, and so I'm hoping we're going to be able to get some playtesting going for her to get her some feedback. If you're sitting here thinking, Christ, that sounds absolutely incredible, get in our Discord. I'm going to type the command, get in our Discord, and these things happen. This is where all the information gets dropped, and it gets dropped there first. There are other off-stream games if you're looking for a group. It's all in EU time zones.
No more waking up at 2 in the morning.
We've all been there, and it fucking sucks. So yeah, if Everest doesn't do it, like whatever, I'm gonna fucking run that game because, God, that's my jam. I'm very excited for that. A Custom of the Sea by Buttonkin Games. It's going to be coming soon.
Can't wait. And that was most of the damage done to our wallets, to our time, to our throats by talking a lot, enunciating very loudly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was time for like dinner, drinks, and all the hugs and
Mm-hmm.
wonderful times, and not enough photos, by me at least.
No, not me either. But I think not having enough photos is a sign of an experience well lived. Because if you haven't got time to be looking at it through your phone, that means you were looking through it with your eyes and experiencing it and having a really good time. And I think
But you,
that's what happened.
that's what happened. But you gotta have
Yeah.
something. And thankfully, we at the very end of the night, like Darcy Yumi's like, we need a photo. We need a photo
We
now.
did it. We did it.
We have some very talented people. Evan's photos are just beautiful as
Oh,
always.
so good.
We got a lot of The reason why Darcy and I had our eyeballs up to the camera was because that's how we started communicating. Ultimately, we got more inside jokes.
Mm-hmm.
People have been sworn to secrecy about Project A, B, C, and D. If you know who you are, no, you
Mm-hmm.
haven't. No, you
They're in the
didn't hear.
Discord, Taylor. They're in the Discord like everything else is. They're in the Dragonmeet thread.
Mm-hmm.
Unmute it. Unmute that Discord. We know it's busy. We don't mind if you mute it. It's fine.
What else? And yeah, that was our Dragon Meet experience.
Yeah. I also
I
got to play Brother Y with
oh,
Riley and Penitent and Ruben because Ruben had bought it,
mm-hmm.
and that's a really good game. Highly recommend that. Brother Y by Hive Mind
Aw.
Games. You play as monks who are illustrating, like they do with the beautiful illustrations in the medieval Bibles, and they are all real illustrations taken from manuscripts. Some of them are very strange, but you have two decks, you draw an illustration, you draw a Bible verse, and you have to explain, brother, why? Why have you drawn this? It's very, very funny. Highly recommend that one. And it was an absolute joy to play with those people.
That is a really clever way of using art that you have not created, that is
Mm,
still original, that is probably common creatives, that is
mhm.
publicly accessible. You didn't
Yep,
have to like hit a Gen AI bot to do that and destroy the environment. You're that's cool. That's
it was
creative.
wonderful. There were some absolutely wild things, and the descriptions of why they existed. I had a dog bard playing a triangle. It was great. Highly recommend. And it was a wonderful environment of like sitting around with your pals and getting to just sit and play a game. This has been a common complaint of mine at cons that everything is so busy, you have to cram it all in. I never get time to play a game, but I did this year, and it was fantastic.
But it's challenging when it's only one day. And so this is like our
Let's talk
final
about it.
thoughts about
Yeah,
Dragon Meet, the experience, logistics. Darcy and I are not in-person convention planners or organizers. I believe that in our IRLs we're not event planners either. So
not anymore.
this
We
is
used to.
our I did like maybe unpaid internships like a million years ago. But this is our personal perspectives. There are going to be so many nuances and
Mhm.
unknown details that we are not privy to
Yep.
that probably affected why certain decisions were made. And we can also respect those while just wishing for different
Mhm.
things, but they are not demands. They're not necessarily complaints, so to say, because it takes a lot of time, effort, and love to do it all, and it's kind of shit to have someone like just raining down and you read this, that, this or that.
Yeah.
No. So this is our perspective and what we'd like to see. Uh, Stars and wishes, roses and thorns.
Yeah. Star was a new venue. For me, it was much more accessible, much more open. I don't know what they've done with the acoustics in that hall, but at one point, Moll at Soul Muppet pointed out to me, it's not loud in here. To say that there's like several hundred people sharing a big space, it didn't feel overstimulating as an autistic person who doesn't deal well with big crowds. At no point did I feel jammed in. At no point did I feel like things were too loud. It was really, really nice. So I hope that they stay there. I obviously the numbers, we don't get to see the numbers, and that is going to be the be all and end all. Because if it's financially worth it for the Dragon Meat team to keep it there, then that's what's going to happen. Um, but I really hope that it was. Like I know they sold out at the Novotel last year, and that was part of the impetus to do a new venue, a bigger venue. So I hope that it was worth it. I hope that it hasn't, it didn't seem like it was a bad turnout. It seemed pretty full. It seemed well advertised, well talked about. I did hear at one point it was getting close to selling out. There was the usual like,
Hmm.
get your ticket as quickly as you can so you don't miss out. I don't know what capacity would be in a venue like that. What would be the bounds? But it certainly seemed well attended, and I hope that the numbers are promising enough, even if it didn't cover all bases this year. That there's an indication of that like upward incline, that it will stay where it was because I really liked it. It was so accessible as well.
Yeah. We could just go all stars a bit and then do wishes. Stars would be the venue itself as well. Food is very accessible, easy
Mm,
nearby. Prices, cons are gonna con, that hurts, but at least there was a good variety of
yeah.
food. There were lots of bathrooms very easily
Mm,
on the same floor, very easily advertised bathroom here, bathroom here, bathroom
mhm.
here. There were multiple water refilling stations,
Yes.
like not just giant water jugs, but the venue also offered individual bottle filling stations, which was
Mhm,
very handy. As far as I can tell, the volunteers or the workers of the convention were very communicative while I
mhm.
was at the tumble through table with the podcast. So multiple times I had people come in and check on me. Everything okay? Can we get you something? It's all good. I did not feel alone or abandoned in that sort of
Mm.
capacity. It was very, very clear. I had lost multiple things throughout the day. Um, and ultimately, after asking other people who lost things, I knew who to find, staff member directly.
Mhm.
And I was directed to the lost and found. And I was reunited with the thing I lost. It was my hotel key card. And it was
Not
there.
important.
Not
Nothing
important
important.
at all. I just usually not like this. I think that's my thing that I'm going to be
Mm.
facing as I get a little older. I'm an older millennial. I look forward to it, but not that part.
Mm.
What other star do you have, Darcy?
Gosh. Stuff. Just oh man, that people turned up. That so many of our community were there. It felt very different from last year, and not just because of the venue change. We did we exist last year? No, we were a glimmer in the eye last year. We a
We,
Euphoria didn't.
we existed.
Did we? What is time, friend?
We existed.
Yes, we did. Yes,
We
of course
exist.
we
We
did.
had we had
Diddly
t-shirts.
diddly. We had t-shirts. What am I talking about? Yes. Um, we did exist. We were still fledgling. We were still new, and I remember feeling at last Dragon Meet we were very much still sort of finding our place.
Hmm.
Very much unsure of who we fit in with, where we fit in. Um, Talking to people was a massively imposter syndrome ridden experience. Speaking purely for myself,
Hmm.
um, but this year we turned up. A lot of people got there on the Friday, the day before. My flight landed at like 11 a.m. and I just kind of headed over to the venue because I was staying at a hotel very close, but couldn't check in until 3 o'clock. So I just headed to the venue and I just texted some people. We set up a WhatsApp group. We were sharing our locations, and I was sat at the venue and I could see all these dots getting closer, everyone converging. And that, I think that experience kind of sums up how I felt about this Dragon Meet. That I felt, don't fucking get emotional. I felt not just peripherally part of it, but a core part of it. I felt in place. Like this was a place that we belong, not only belonged, that we were a beacon for, that people were coming to us, that we had built a community, and here they came to hug and laugh and make silly hand gestures and make everybody die laughing. I felt like I knew my place there and it was a good place. So that felt very, very different
It was a good place.
in
That's
a
a
good way.
reflective of the community overall, not just the EU4 community, but the communities that do find Dragon Meet. I don't
Yes.
know how much Dragon Meet fosters those relationships,
Mm,
where they find people, but a star for me is the variety
mm,
of the people that Dragon Meet attracts. So I've been to, I can talk later about the Dutch TTRPG convention scene, but just TLDR, it's primarily 5e. And of
mm.
course, it's going to be Dutch focused, but every now and then you get like some German, some Irish, like Fumblefoe coming in through.
Yeah.
But I met like people from Portugal, the Bulgarians, the Italians, the other
Mhm.
Dutch. And I was like, this is really freaking cool that this seems to be for now a central place where we are converging. And I hope that gets fostered all in all.
Mm,
And I don't know how much Dragon Meat explicitly makes that happen. But
mm.
in the end, I guess they do get to take some of that credit. So star for that thing.
Yeah.
That now being said, for me, I can just go into my wish,
For
um, where as a meeting place where everything gets sort of crammed into one place, your networking, your panels, your vendoring,
mhm.
you're playing your impromptu games with friends. That is really hard to do in a single day.
Yeah.
And for that, my wish would be that it's a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
um, Also channeling things I have heard from my own friends, who have said to me, it is a it is a struggle bus to set up everything you need to do your table for one day,
Mhm.
hustle to cut even, and then break it all down the same day.
Yeah.
And having like an extra day is like a bit of a relief that might not always necessarily reflect the costs, but there's
Yeah.
always the logistical breathing room on the vendor side of those that personal who have shared that with me. But as a visitor, a guest, a panelist, someone at a table, thanks to the podcast zone,
Mm.
a second day would be nice. I don't know what decision making that is, but for the investments coming from the continent having the hotel,
Mhm.
I find it easier to me either justify when I have
Yeah.
an extra day to toss into it.
Yeah. I think that's my wish as well. I there's arguments against.
Mm-hmm.
Another day is double the cost in terms of booking that hotel, in terms of um, the stand cost. It also has the impact on a lot of people. For a lot of people, this isn't their main job. There are only like, I wouldn't want to say what percentage, but I guarantee that not everybody working as a vendor is doing that as a full-time job, and so is probably having to either take time off from their full-time thing or sacrifice a weekend off and then go straight back to work. And so it can have that impact on your wider sort of calendar. um I think 2 days would be the max. I don't think it would ever go to 3 like UKGE. um it's definitely an extra time investment, it's definitely an extra money investment. Also, there's just something, yes, it's slightly stressful. But I think it feeds back into the question we said about the POC lounge. Is it better when it's timed, when you only have a certain amount of time to enjoy it, and that gives you the kick up the ass to go and do it?
Mm-hmm.
It makes it more special. It's one and done, and whatever you can do on that day is whatever you get done, and you have to prioritize and you have to kind of sacrifice and maybe follow up afterwards with the people that you've missed. I definitely think there's something to be said for that sort of lightning in the bottle, one and done vibe.
Yeah.
Whether that's just an over romanticism, maybe I'm just over romanticizing it. I don't know. I think it should be at least given a chance. See how it does on 2 days, if it gets to that point. And
Yeah.
then and if it doesn't work, go back to 1,
That's a wish indeed.
for
And
sure.
another wish we've mentioned as well, wish that communication
Mm,
from from Dragonmeet as an organization, for example, on socials, and physically at the venue as well.
yeah.
Growing pains. Um, the volunteers are struggle not struggling. The volunteers are working really hard to also accommodate all the other logistics. I can
Uh-huh.
only imagine how much of an extra chore it is to print all the things, run around, put them up, make
Mhm.
sure they're there, change them when something inevitably changes, take them all down, etc., etc. I can respect the amount of work that is,
Yeah.
but I thus I wish for me nonetheless that there would be more visible printouts of like space is here, go this way for a panel,
Mhm.
go this for in this room at this schedule is intended to be this thing, this thing,
Mm.
this thing, or on the floor somehow somewhere. There weren't any pillars in the middle of the room, but like
No.
this is row A, this is column 3, where so I have more of a reference where to find things as well. There was a really cool map that was done this year that looked like sort
Mm.
of a dungeon map. As cool as it visually was, other people have commented this is a little hard. This is cool visually, but in terms of like needing to know accessibility wise, it took an extra second.
Yeah. I think that was an unofficial one. That was one done as a sort of a labor of love,
Ah, okay.
by people who,
It was
I'm
cool.
so sorry that I can't remember the name of the illustrator, but, like, would go into like, I've seen them in the UK Tin Discord saying,
Mhm.
"Who is gonna be there that can I do you, like, a personalized, image on your house, your stand?"
That's so
Um,
cool. That's so kind of them.
Yog, probably saying that wrong. Yog Brogzen did that map. Thank you, Michael. Um, yeah, very unofficial. I think they did official ones last year, but only
Oh.
unofficial ones this year. So maybe that's something worth reinvesting in. Dragonmeet.
Mm. Yeah.
Just saying.
Like print out the map of vendor hall officially and put
Mhm.
it on a couple of walls. Like I get that for sustainability and environmental versions. I For sustainability and environmental reasons, it might not be the best thing for everyone to get
Yeah,
one. They're gonna end up on the floor. They're gonna end up in the garbage. That's not nice either.
yeah,
But give me a printout version that isn't exclusively a digital version because uh, outlets are few and far between. We all have our power banks, but options are nice. That's a
Yeah.
wish. That's a wish.
Yeah. And I think the fact that we're at like such not to like undermine your wish, like it's quite a nitty-gritty thing. Like it's
Hmm.
not the be all and end all. It's a nice to have rather than a this essential fucking thing was missing, is a testament to the fact that it is a fairly well-run convention. I didn't see people getting I really saw one person getting hopelessly lost, but that's on that person. And if you know, you know. Um somebody went to the old venue, you know who it was.
No, I
Did you know
don't
this?
actually. No,
Somebody who I will name in DM to you later turned up at the Novotel and was like, "Where is everybody?"
that must have been a bad
They
feeling.
got there eventually, and I
They
got a hug, and
did,
it was
but
great to see
oh
them.
no.
Um, but that, like, that's on that person. That wasn't a massive miscommunication. You know what I mean? Like, nothing major went wrong that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
Cue all the people in my DM saying, "Actually, this fuckery happened." I think it was fairly smooth. Ticketing was very good. The space was good. The food was good. It wasn't too hot. You know, all these like we're at the nitty gritty of just make it a little bit better in this area. So I think that's a testament to how good it was and how much better it can be. Because I think all these things that we're saying that we wish for are very, very achievable.
Yeah. Any other wish I have? Um, I wish that Dragon Meet and any other convention, TTRPG specific convention,
Mm.
really encourages or systemizes their vendors at communicating clearly whether or not their products are made with AI.
Yes.
I would love for Dragon Me to make a sense and say, like, if you either the ideal for me, I, the person, would be like uh, AI generative things are just not allowed,
Yeah.
but or at the very least, your vendors must communicate whether or not something is or isn't with generative AI, and
Mhm.
that way, I, as a consumer, know like which way to go.
Mhm. Yeah. Agreed. I feel like that's a stance that it probably should be implemented across the board. I also feel like it's probably not going to be that much of a problem soon because that bubble's on the verge of bursting, and thank God we're not going to have to fucking hear about it for too much longer. But there are cons, there are organizations who have failed to do that and haven't
Irritate.
drawn that line in the sand,
My throat
and
is
that's
sore.
it's disheartening. It, regardless of the problem in and of itself, even if that is a problem that disappears and we don't have to fucking hear about it anymore, it is a statement. It is a very clear indication of that organization's values and where they fall on creators versus corporations and who they're going to be supporting. And I think that says a lot about how much people can trust in them. So be on the side of creators, please, without us having to like boycott you or whatever. Like, please, just make good choices, be good
Your,
people,
your
please.
business model is dependent on creative, specifically in
Yeah,
this field, in this niche
yeah,
industry. That's what got us all this far.
yeah,
Let's continue to love and respect them, and the people who want to support that also deserve to be loved and respected, and they deserve
absolutely.
the very best and not slop. I don't think I saw a particular slop, but then again, I wasn't necessarily going to every table.
No, I don't think
And
I saw it either, and
no.
I haven't heard about it. Like, no name clangs, no like clout chase or anything. But we're pretty good friends with quite a few people who do vendor at all of these conventions, and we hear the stories. I've had people say to me, "I was selling my hand drawn art, and somebody came over to tell me why I should be using AI, and I wanted to murder him." I haven't heard any of that from Dragonmeet, so I guess that's a good sign.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And that was a dragon meat.
And that was Dragonmeet, and it sucks. I've just been sleeping since then, basically. Wishes for next year: a hotel room for the Saturday night. Don't be so silly, Darcy.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think one day or two, one day I'd still be there.
Mm.
2 day I'd be happier.
Yeah,
Hey, people can still have the option of doing only one day. I assume
yeah,
vendors can, up to Dracu Meet organizers as well.
yeah, yeah.
I know here in the Netherlands, even I've made decisions about whether if a con is 1 day or 2 day. I'm like, it's a small country. It's only 1 day. It still costs me like 2.5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
It still costs me like €50 round trip, I'm gonna make a
Mm.
decision and say, no, I'm not gonna go to that anymore. But nonetheless, that's Dragon Meet. We'll see you next year, fam.
Yeah, and we'll maybe see you at UKG before then if you're going to be in that area. I'd
And
be
other
interested to see.
conventions.
Yeah, maybe. Let's start doing some European ones. I would be interested to see. They're very different vibes, UKG and Dragonmeet, for good
Mhm.
and bad reasons. But like, I don't think this year we had many European people at UKG, so I'd be interested to see if Dragonmeet is the winner of we have won the Europeans' hearts and they're just going to save up and do that one, or if we get some more European people, if it's a twice yearly thing when people come across to UKG. Because again, 3-day con, it's a bigger investment. Be interesting to see the difference.
Yeah, but there are people who are um, actually doing organizing themselves cons who come and take lessons, like Alex from Austria, like
Mhm.
Nuno
Yes.
and Andres from Portugal,
Hmm.
like the Dutchies who are familiar with the Dutch TTRPG scene, etc., etc.
Hmm.
They're taking lessons, they're writing notes, and they're
Yeah.
taking those best practices back home.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one day we have the little sense to go visit them. But let's wrap it there for conventions.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds on what people need to come back for tomorrow, this week, and this month.
Oh yeah,
Very
we
fast.
still got content. What we got?
What do we got? Something's happening in 2 days. Oh my!
2 days. Got some overlays to make. Yeah, 2 days. Jingle Jam officially begins today. It's open. They've already raised over £100,000. Absolutely wild. If you don't know, Jingle Jam is a UK-based initiative to raise money for incredibly worthy charities. I believe there are 8 of them this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll rattle them off real quick. Streamers get together to raise money for Autistica, Become, Calm, Grand Appeal, Make a Wish, Trevor Project, War Child, and WWF. All sorts of content, all sorts of streamers from around the world, not just in the UK and across Europe. We are honored to be a part of it this year. We applied, we were accepted. We are running 2 games. On Wednesday is Jimmy Mothball's Festive Staffing Agency Wants to Steal Christmas, which is a phenomenal name, a phenomenal game by Ecstasis Games, who I visited to say hello this week and got to meet Jimmy. Jimmy was there in the flesh. I will post this
Oh,
picture
oh my God,
later.
that was a thing.
It was great. That's being run by Michelle. Has a phenomenal cast that I'm not going to try and rattle off because I'll probably get it wrong. Idol
No,
will probably
I
step
have I have it in
in and
front of
help me.
me.
Go
I
for
have
it.
it in front of me. We have Kim Richards from High Rollers. We have
I've
Kim
heard of
Richards from
her.
High Roller. Kim Richards from High Rollers. We have Gloria, the streamer known as Glow
Yes.
Pinksta. We have Anya, La Leon Cosplay, La Leon Publishing. And we have Ken Chang, who is a phenomenal stand up comedian and
Hmm.
also TTRPG nerd.
That is just going to be absolutely amazing. And then next week, I'm not going to try and say this title. We've narrowed it. We've called it One Page Roulette. It's something like beach party, but my best swimsuit is in the wash, and the beach is suffering from temporal distortion. Basically, one story played out through 10 different systems. Uh, your incentives are there. You donate money, and the GM spins the wheel, and they play whatever system comes up in whatever order it comes up. And
Over and
sometimes the
over and
cast will
over.
dance. Yep.
Yes. Um, you know what? I'm just going to toss the names.
Yeah, we haven't announced it on Twitter, but fucking Twitter, Blue Sky,
You know what?
do it.
That's okay. That's okay. It's going to be GM'd by new person to our community and GMing, DR.
Hmm.
DR is someone very familiar with our other GM, Michelle, for the other game.
They know each
We're
other.
they know each other a little bit. Also, at the table is going to be our wonderful friend, Ruben Ferdinand, Urban Frienden.
Yes.
We're going to be rolling a lot of dice. Good luck, dice. We have a Gaskinator, who is part of the award-nominated cast that joined us for Blades in the Dark. Gask is a wonderful little guy who is going to just is perfect for this kind of
Hmm.
comedy table. We have Chris Williams,
Chris
who
Kelly.
sorry, Chris Kelly. There's so many. It's a family affair this year. We have Chris Kelly. Chris Kelly. What was the last game they were at on the
The Walking
Euphoria?
Dead,
The Walking Dead, which recently
just
streamed and
recently.
broke everyone's
Hmm.
collective hearts.
Hmm.
And we have this other little dude at the table known as
Uh,
Grant Howitz by Rowan Brook and Deckard.
Never heard of him.
Just a little dude. Likes biscuits.
Really loves this. Really, I'm joking. Great guy. Had a lovely chat with him this weekend. Absolute legend of a human being.
Yes.
Very, very generous of him to donate his time and come and play with us. Let's see if we can break him. Let's see if we can make him lose his shit.
And that's going to be Thursday, the 11th, December 11th, as well, 7 p.m. GMT, 8 p.m. CET.
Yep. And then we've got one last stream of the year, right? The
Yeah,
wrap up.
we're just going to kind of talk about what we've done, what we're looking forward to,
Hmm.
our little bit of sign up, but we're also going to yap a little bit about the final round of European creatives that we love.
Yes. And we might announce some things. Should we announce some things at that stream?
Well, we can announce things.
Because I don't think we've announced any of our 2026 programming, so we should at least give people an idea of what to look forward to, right?
Like things pending because everything's in the ether.
So many things are in the ether right now. So many recordings are just so close to getting done and just falling through the cracks.
We're going
But
to
we'll
get them.
get there.
And that's December. So we really look forward to you. We really look forward to seeing you, especially during our Jingle Jam. It is a
Yes.
charity stream for 8 wonderful charities that Darcy mentioned. If you have the means, please consider donating. Your donation not only causes chaos or has makes something funny happen to on stream to the cast, it's going to 8 wonderful causes that can make a difference, and it's just really representative of what our community is capable of. We save the world. We're the heroes in TTRPGs. We can do our part and be IRL heroes and save the real world in this way. If you're unable to give financially because reasons, that is also a-okay. Being there in the watching our stream also helps. The more audience members, the more people we're likely to find, and maybe they are donators. If you have family members or friends who are capable of giving, encourage them to watch, share on socials. That helps us to attract a bigger audience who might be able to also give what they can financially. So every little bit helps. And thank you so much in advance for showing up for us.
Yeah. We had a really successful time of it last year when we weren't part of Jingle Jam. It was just
Mm-hmm.
us two, like, can we raise £100? And we smashed it. So thank you if you were part of that last year. If you can be a part, like it's Christmas, it's a tough time. We know, we recognize, but if you can, even just sharing all the posts on socials, the cast reveals, the reminders, the more people see it, the more likely they are to tune in. So every little helps in terms of just visibility as well. And then we will see you next year. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. I'm at 30 and still counting. 30 channels in our production Discord, games that we are gearing up to do next year. More than 30. We will program more as well because we keep space for sponsored things. If you have a game, if you have a Kickstarter that you want to get an AP made of, come talk to us. Send us an email. Let's chat. Let's see what we can do. We do sponsored APs. We also do just like advertising packages. We can help get eyes on your product. As we've mentioned, our community are really tuned in. They, for some unknown godforsaken reason, trust what we have to say. And if we point to a game, there's a very good chance that people are going to click the link and put their eyes on it and spend money on it. So come talk to us about how we can do that. The money all goes back into our community, so supporting marginalized voices, marginalized performers, human creatives, and that's all very worthwhile. So it looks good. You look good if you support us because people go, aha, they have good values. It's well worth your time.
Yeah. On that note, I think it's time to say good night and
So
continue recovering from Dragonmeet.
I'm going to pour myself another glass of wine and then I'm going to go to bed.
I am ready for bed.
I love that
I
for
just
you.
gotta wash my face.
All right. Lovely to see you this weekend. Lovely to catch up with you right now.
Such a good hug. Everyone gave wonderful hugs this weekend.
It really did.
All right.
All right, gang.
That's
Take
it.
care
We're
of
just
yourself.
gonna say good night because you know who we are. Follow
Yay.
Euphoria. Do the thing.
Get in the Discord. We'll see you
And
later.
we'll see you later. Have a good night. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.